Welcome back, everybody. This is a bucket of Crown Point Mill ore that Ernie has roasted and brought over to me. This is actually some of the richest ore I've seen. He was smelting 123 grams at a time. The pearls of gold were absolutely consistent and some of the largest I've seen. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to crush this up. I'm going to pan it out, collect up the free gold. Then we'll finish running it through the rock crusher, run it through the sluice. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and smelt it down and see exactly how much ore or how much gold is in 5 pounds of this ore and see whether it's worth it. Okay, this bucket actually weighed 24.5 pounds. I'm only interested in about 5 pounds of this ore to process to see what a customer would get out of 5 pounds. Let's weigh it out, remove the ore, and take 5 pounds. Okay, there's 5.5 pounds of ore in just 2 rocks. So what we are going to do is I'm going to take this out and I'm going to crush it up, pan it out, see how much free gold we get, and then I'll go ahead and smelt it and see how much more we get. So this is like 5.5 pounds of ore, 2 little rocks. And as you see, I still got bucket loads of it. So yeah, this is some of the richest ore I've seen to date. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run it and see. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and re-roast this ore, because even though it's been roasted in a kiln for a couple hours, it's still pretty hard. What I do is I roast it, get it red hot, and then put it into a mixture of water and 25% white vinegar, which causes the crystals in the quartz to basically reform and make them softer. So these are pretty hard. I've been pounding on them with my 4-pound sludge here, and it's still pretty hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and re-roast the bigger chunks and, dry them out, let them cool, and re-crush them. This is my 16-gram crucible, my 16-kilogram crucible. For anybody who knows what crucibles are, this is an extremely large crucible. It's one of the biggest they make, and I use this to roast my ore in primarily. And as you can see, I've loaded that 5 pounds of ore with it, and it's sticking out the top. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to reheat this again, and we are going to add it to a water vinegar solution to make the quartz easier to crush up. Because right now it's still pretty stout and isn't crushing very well. So we'll reheat it, and we'll go ahead and put it through the motions with the water and vinegar, and then we'll go ahead and crush it up, and it'll be a whole lot easier than what we're currently doing. So okay, this is the 5 pounds of ore we got from Ernie. That's in a 16-gram crucible. If you're familiar with how large these things are, they're actually pretty large. That's like 5.5 pounds of ore in that crucible. And what we're going to do is we're going to reheat it. Ernie roasted it once, but we're going to reheat it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take it over here and we're going to put it in a water vinegar mix, because the vinegar will react to the quartz, making the quartz much, much softer. So we're going to shock it, and then we're going to help crystallize it and make it easier to crush, because this ore, even though it had been roasted for 2 hours, was just really not hard to crush. So we're going to rerun it, and we'll get back to you and let you know how that goes. Okay, after roasting Ernie's ore again, and throwing it into a combination of water and white vinegar, it should make this quartz easier to crush up. It was a bit difficult, so I went ahead and treated it the way we do it, and it should make it a lot easier for me to crush up and go ahead and pan, crush, run through the sluice, and collect all the materials out of it. Stay tuned. I'm expecting good things out of this ore. Well, it worked really well using that solution of the vinegar water mix. It's 25% vinegar, and once the ore is heated red hot, you drop it into the vinegar solution, and this stuff crushes up so easy. So yeah, the old timers were right. They used to do it in strict vinegar, but yeah, it was really easy.
Okay.
All right, this is some of the ore that Ernie gave me, this ore. So I took out 5 pounds of ore to see exactly how many precious metals are in this ore. Now this ore thus far has produced the most amount of gold that I've seen smelted. These pearls were about an 1/8 inch around and were really gold. So what he wanted to do is, he's in the process of moving, so he asked me if I could pan some of this. I'm going to pan some of it and see if we can't find any gold values in it. And I'll be saving the concentrates in another pan down here, because they're not going anywhere. They'll be dried out, run through the crusher, then put through the sluice to be smelted to see exactly how much gold there might be in 5 pounds of this ore. And so stay tuned. We're going to figure this one out. Yeah, there are gold values in it. See that piece of gold there?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I can see it. Let me try to zoom in on it. Yep, right there.
Okay, now there are also other pieces of gold in here. This is a heavy little black thing. Huh. Okay,
You can definitely see that.
does that look like a little piece of gold sticking out of that black there?
It does.
Right here?
Yes, it does.
That's why it's so heavy. It's a little nugget of gold. And there's more in here. Those are just a couple small pieces, but there is some finer gold in here. So, I mean, yeah, we do have gold in this. So, what we were going to do, I mean, you can pan it. No, I didn't crush up all the rock. I only crushed up a little bit of it to pan it to see if there was, you know, any values, gold values that we could find. And yeah, I've already found pieces of gold. There's another one there.
Yeah.
Right there. Oh, kind of covered it there. There it is. It's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And there was that black piece right there that looks like a chunk of gold. There it is.
Yep, there it is. So yeah, we'll have to smelt it down to see what you
So
get.
we're going to have to smelt this down, but yeah, I would say, yeah, there are, I mean, you can pan this, and there are gold values here. I see little pieces, a lot of it micro fine, but I seem to have a couple decent sized right there.
And that was just out of a little tiny
And that was
bit,
just out of a little bit
pieces.
of this. And yeah, so I mean, it's just, yeah. So I'm going to save these concentrates, and I might actually take that little picker. Now let's smelt it down. So yeah, there is in fact gold in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this up And this is all going in to the crusher, where it will be run through the sluice, and then we'll go ahead and smelt the concentrates.